Out of all species of sapients in the galaxy, terrans are the strangest. A single terran is tiny, weak, and barely sapient at all. But when they clump together, they form massive colonies made up of trillions of them that share the same intelligence, called a human. Brave soldiers of the Empire, this is our enemy. Officer Veshtiul brought the image up on the screen, and the room filled with a mixture of murmurs and snickers. It was the same every time. New cadets didn't understand what they were going up against. They might look small and docile to us, the officer began, but these Terrans are one of the most populous and dangerous forces in the galaxy, with a range spanning as wide as the Empire itself. Officer Veshtiul brought up a star map and revealed the overall size of both empires, each almost spanning an entire arm of the Milky Way. Even with the comparison, the snickering didn't stop. Does anyone have something to add? Sir, they're so small. Yes, cadet, they are. Very astute. They must have taught you your sizes at the academy. Tell me, cadet, did they teach you shapes as well? The cadet didn't respond immediately. What about numbers, cadet? Yes, sir. Good to know there are still quality recruits among you, the officer said. The rest of the cadets chuckled, but mostly out of discomfort at getting called out. Now can someone tell me, do we bring equipment into combat? Sir, yes, sir. Does my gun care if you're 5 or 10 cells large? Sir, no, sir. Firearms do not discriminate. Add that to shapes and numbers, cadets. The officer changed the slide on the screen. These are also terrans, dozens of completely unique variants on the same species. Now you might find this strange, and I certainly did, but that is because the terran survival strategy is unique. Trillions of terrans will work together. The officer went quiet for a moment to let the number sink in. To form biomechanical battle suits they refer to as HUMAN. They changed the slide to show the gargantuan battlesuit towering over what would have been the largest Vestiulian city. It wasn't strange for there to be massive weapons of war, but it still garnered a reaction. These biosuits are highly advanced, self-repairing, durable, and flexible machines of war. They stand between 1.5 to 2.2 meters tall. Meters! One cadet with a touch too little self-control shouted. That said, it was a shared sentiment. The officer always felt like it was a mistake telling the recruits this right before they went to the front. Yes, meters. Additionally, these biosuits are unsuited for space travel, as they are biological material, so the Terrans use these suits to create protective space travel vessels. Some of these ships are kilometers long. There was no reaction to that, aside from stunned silence. Luckily for us, there are only billions of these suits on the front. But now you understand how dire our situation is. Your job, cadets, is to separate into small groups and get inside these suits to fight from the inside. This is our only hope, as our weapons are useless against their powerful epidermis shields. What about fuel, sir? Pardon? Could we pre-mine their fuel? Maybe we could keep them from running these expensive biosuits and they can consume most biomatter and convert it into fuel. Murmurs again. I understand this is going to be a hard war, but a small initial squadron can take down one of these suits. The officer closed his eyes. This was still the worst part. Once you are in the suit, the Terran response to intruders in the biosuit is to overheat their systems. This damages the suit, but is an effective measure against our outer shields. Luckily, many of you tough soldiers will outlast this heat. Isn't that right? Sir, yes, sir. The officer smiled. At least he could give them some confidence before dropping the hammer. But we still have limited time. The Terrans have developed technology known as a vaccine. These are injections of highly specialized biomutated. A deep breath. Men, they are our old comrades turned against us, made traitor to train their defense systems to find and destroy us. How do we fight something like that? Our own people? Can we win this? I'm leaving. We're doomed. How can we fight something like this? The officer cut back in. Men, because we have to. For the Empire.